I hated him before I even knew his name. When people said Alfred Min is untouchable, they meant it literally. Captain of the fencing team, top of his class, son of the university chairman. Every inch of him screamed perfection. Clean lines, clean grades, clean smile. Except for the eyes. Those eyes had always looked at me like I was dirt beneath his polished shoes. We clashed from day one. He was everything I wasn't. Polished, wealthy, composed. And I was the scholarship student who'd clawed my way into this world of gold-framed portraits and privilege. Every time we crossed paths, words were weapons. "You should stay in your lane," he said once, cornering me near the lockers. "People like you never last here. And people like you only last because of Daddy's money." I spat back. I had been fighting him for years, yet somehow I always ended up near him, competing against him, matching him, hating him, wanting him gone. Or at least that's what I told myself. The night that changed everything. The university held its annual interdepartmental gala that night. I hadn't planned on going. Hated formal events, hated watching Alfred smile like a prince while everyone bowed to him. But my best friend dragged me there, insisting I needed to relax. The music thumped, champagne glasses clinked, and everyone looked like a painting. Except me, standing awkwardly near the drinks table in a borrowed suit. Then Alfred walked in. Black suit, loosened tie. The crowd parted for him like he owned the air. And damn it, he looked good, too good. I hated myself for noticing. We locked eyes across the room. Just once. Enough to ruin my night. I escaped to the rooftop to breathe, reminding myself I couldn't afford distractions like him. That was when the door slammed open. "Alfred." "What, following me now?" I asked, not turning. "Funny. I could ask you the same." He stepped closer. The air thinned. The city lights painted his face. Sharp cheekbones. That infuriatingly calm expression. "I'm tired of this," he said. "Of what?" "Me existing. Of pretending I don't see you." I turned, ready with another insult. But the words never left my mouth. Alfred, perfect, polished, untouchable Alfred, looked like he was seconds from losing control. Then he kissed me. It wasn't soft. It wasn't sweet. It was desperate. Angry. The kind of kiss that burns more than it soothes. I should have pushed him away. Instead, I pulled him closer. The rooftop, the night air, the sound of the city below. Everything blurred into heat, breath, skin. We didn't stop. We couldn't. By the time dawn touched the sky, the world had changed. I woke up in his bed. He was already up, shirtless, standing by the window when I woke. For a moment, I forgot to breathe. Then reality hit. What the hell did we do? Alfred didn't look at me. "You know what we did. Don't act like this means something." He finally turned. "Doesn't it?" The silence was worse than shouting. The air between us was too heavy to move through. I grabbed my clothes, ignoring the ache in my chest, and headed for the door. "Alex," he said. My name soft and wrecked. "Forget it ever happened?" I muttered, walking out, promising myself to forget about him and everything that night. Days passed. I could still feel him. Phantom touches, echoes under my skin. I avoided him, but he was everywhere. In class, practice, in my dreams. Every time our eyes met, it was like that night replayed in my veins. One evening, after fencing practice, I stayed late to clean up. Everyone had left except him. He stood at the far end of the hall, still in his uniform, mask dangling from one hand. "You've been ignoring me," he said. "Smart of you to notice." He walked closer. "You think pretending nothing happened will make it go away?" "I think it was a mistake." I shot back. His jaw tightened. "A mistake doesn't haunt you like this." Before I could react, he was right in front of me. The air pulsed. His voice dropped, low and rough. "I can't stop thinking about you," he said. "Even when I try to hate you." I froze. My chest ached. "Stop," I whispered. But he didn't. "Every time I see you, I remember what you sound like when you... Enough! I pushed past him, heart racing, but he caught my wrist. Say it, he demanded. Say you don't feel it too. I pulled free, breathing hard. That night was a mistake. You're my enemy, Alfred. That's all you'll ever be. Then I didn't wait to hear what he had to say. I just walked away. And yet, when I got back to my dorm that night, I couldn't sleep. All I could think about was that night, his sound, his touch, his presence. Weeks passed. The tension became unbearable. Then one night, I found him outside the library. Bruised, bleeding, furious. Alfred. I ran to him, catching him before he fell. What happened? Some guys from the rival team, he said through gritted teeth. They jumped me. I took him to my dorm, cleaned his wounds, cursed under my breath. You're such an idiot. He laughed weakly. You care. Shut up. But my hands were shaking. His blood was on my shirt, his breath hot against my neck. I didn't do it to get back at you, or to mess with you, he said, voice low. Then he stopped mid-sentence, as if afraid of finishing. I waited. Finally, he looked up. I know we didn't have a perfect start, but can we try to start over? Can we forget about all the fights we had and maybe start something? Something new? Maybe we already started something without meaning to, I said quietly. He looked at me, eyes searching, disbelieving, then leaned in. His kiss was gentle and careful, like he was afraid I'd vanish. And I let him. His lips were still warm against mine when we finally pulled apart. Neither of us spoke. Outside, the rain whispered against the window like it didn't want to interrupt. Alfred's fingers brushed mine. So, what happens now? I exhaled. I don't know. I guess we see where this goes. He smiled faintly. You mean, like dating? I laughed softly. You're really jumping ahead, huh? Alfred tilted his head, teasing glint in his eyes. So you're my boyfriend now, right? I blinked. When did I agree to that? He grinned, humor fading. Then let me ask properly. The distance between us vanished. His voice dropped to steady, vulnerable honesty. Can you be my boyfriend? No games this time. No messing around. No sleeping together and pretending nothing happened. Just us. Trying. For real. I swallowed hard. You really mean that? Yeah. I've spent too long trying to hate you. I just want to start over. Not as rivals, not as a mistake, but as something real. I took a slow breath. Okay, then let's try. But if we do this, we do it right. Alfred smiled, soft and relieved. So that's a yes? Yeah, I said, rolling my eyes, hiding my smile. He laughed, cupping my face gently. Good, because I don't ever want to pretend again. When he kissed me this time, it was steady, like a promise. And for the first time, it didn't feel like losing. Felt like finally coming home. The rain had softened into a drizzle. We stayed quiet, side by side, letting everything settle. At some point, he fell asleep on my couch, head against my shoulder, hand loosely holding mine. I should have moved. I didn't. When I woke the next morning, he was still there, curled up beside me, peaceful for once. The sunlight was spilling through the curtains, brushing over his face, softening every sharp edge I used to despise. I watched him for a moment, listening to his slow, even breathing. It was strange, how someone who used to make my blood boil could now make me feel calm just by existing. Part of me whispered that it was dangerous, that letting him in could break me again. But another part, the quieter, braver one, knew this was different. Maybe this was what it felt like to stop fighting the inevitable. I reached out and brushed a strand of hair from his forehead. He stirred slightly, mumbling something half asleep before his fingers found mine again, instinctively. And just like that, I knew. Whatever we were becoming, it was real. Because maybe enemies don't stay enemies forever. Maybe they just carry the pieces of love they were too scared to show. Until one day, they finally stopped pretending not to care.